the work that I shared with you tonight, like I said, I talked about the walkability assessment and how we went to different neighborhoods and saw the condition basically of each neighborhood and their streets and everything like that. And like I said before, you could really see, like you said, gaps and like a very clear dichotomy between some neighborhoods compared to others, where some neighborhoods had nice benches and like trees and parks, and some had nothing and none of those things. So it's very clear, like just from a visual standpoint, you can just clearly see that there are some communities and some places that have been left out, like historically, from these things, and haven't had the proper treatment or like updates that many other places have had, where they've become more green and more sustainable. These places have just been completely ignored and are kind of stuck in the past. So that really is an issue and is a very clear, like you said, gap within the environmental community.
Well, not from like personal experience, from what I've seen at the field station that we were working at, well, the field that we were working at, but I feel like we should also put more Indigenous voices into the conversation, because like it is their land that we're working on, and I feel like it often goes overlooked, and I think they would know what to do with the land because it's their land and they understand it the most. So to include their voices into the conversation would be very beneficial to the environmental justice movement and in environmental planning in general.
Personally related to my work experience this summer, I found out about the Hudson River Educators Program through the Rockland County Conservation Service Corps. I worked with them this summer, and then I got the opportunity to work with this lovely site and organization. And I feel like the Conservation Corps stuff, programs like the Conservation Corps and youth programs should be definitely more advertised and brought forward to a lot of specifically underrepresented or marginalized people. I think there's a huge stigma of just how BIPOC is lazy and doesn't want to do anything about stuff. And it's like, that's not the point. And the stigma is increased because programs like these aren't brought to the forefront for people like us. And I feel like putting organizations like these, activities like these youth groups and stuff like that could into schools and into conversations, and just relieving the stigma of getting involved could be something that could fill that sort of gap. And I feel like the purpose of the next generation of Hudson River Educators Program was to bridge the gap of education within communities. And like Arianna said, and like we said, we protect what we understand. And once people become educated about specifically their local watershed, it initiates that drive to be able to protect it and to keep on protecting it and to keep on educating those who come forward. So yes.